You guys want to introduce yourselves before I do my little... It's a short monologue this time, I promise.
Sure.
Hi, my name's Asa. I'm the DM. I play every single person in this campaign other than the characters. Player characters.
Hi, Asa. Hi, my name is Hattie Log.
Is that all you're going to say?
I mean, I can play my drums for you if you'd like. It's really all that I'm good at. Unless you want me to kill somebody. That's pretty much the only two things I'm good at.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Arava tonight. He is a Sun Soul Monk lizard folk.
Hi, I'm Francesca. I'm playing Fiend. I'm here for all of your fencing and spy needs.
I am Randy. I am playing Hitch tonight. Hitch McScully. He's a city watch guard who's not very good at his job, and after getting drunk one night, mistakenly made a pact with the Fiend, and now he has warlock powers that he's not sure how to use.
Do you also secretly set up men with their love interests and then fall in love with somebody that's trying to write a story about you in a worldwide newspaper?
Yes, it only happened once, though.
You guys are going to start in the medium-sized town of Masters Point. Yep, Masters Point is a huge shipping town. They do a lot of business through their port. Very, very important for the land overall. The current Jarl is a human man named Ged Haranis. The Thane has yet to be appointed since the last electoral cycle. This is, for all of you guys, about 7.5 years ago. Current time.
Oh.
Alright, so months of steady work has led you all to this point. You four are considered to be the most hireable single contract workers in Masters Point. You have served the nobility, you've been assistants to the working class, and you have protected the poor from thugs. You all keep your own biases, but the creed of your company has always been to follow your gut. Most recently, you've been hired by a mysterious man, and his contract is simple. Help him move his arcane machine from his summer home to a storage location within Masters Point. The way he phrased it, this device has attracted some unwanted attention, and he wants it moved discreetly. You find yourselves in a small tavern room with the device set up near some bay doors. This man, he's cloaked in these these really resplendently dark red robes, and he's explaining his machine and how he's made this huge breakthrough with it. And I guess we'll just kind of start in media res. He's the only person in the room with you at the time.
So, if you understand how the arcane flows through this, you'll see that really it could be used for all kinds of things. I intend to set it up and pitch it to the Jarl to use it in the docks sometime. I think that could help make trade a lot more lucrative through here. It could bring a lot more people through here. What do you all think? I'm curious.
So what exactly does this thing do? Magic what now?
Well, I haven't come up with a snappy name for it, but best I can say is it's like a focus point for arcane energies. You can use it, you can put all kinds of spells through it, you can ask it to do spells. It's as close as I've come to creating something that's sentient, other than, I don't know how you all feel about them, but those Warforged used to be just objects at one point in time, and, they were used for something much different, and this is not for that. Of course. I hope for it to be the sliced bread of magic, if you will. And it's a funny joke.
That was metaphor.
Yes, it was metaphor.
So, this thing focuses and magnifies arcane things? How? Is that what? Am I getting that right?
Yes, in essence, yes, that is correct. I don't know if I would put it so simply, but yes, in layman's terms, that would be what it is. Something, it's intended to help people who aren't maybe the greatest with their magical abilities and be an aid to them and hopefully be a boon to the trading industry, where, if people who can't normally afford many deckhands to move something onto a boat or whatever can use this device to just magic it on. You don't want all your wizards running around burning their spell slots. So you can see my concern with wanting to move it discreetly. It's something something as important as this, something that could change the future of this town, is much too important to just let travel in the open, and I really don't want it to be destroyed or stolen out from under me, and that's why I've come to you.
Do you feel like someone's after it particularly, or is this just a general concern?
A man in my trade has made many enemies over time. It's just part of doing business and being successful at it.
Have you told anybody about this machine?
A few colleagues here and there, people. I suspect that there's more than one person who could put together exactly what it is I've been doing, if they've listened closely enough to my questions and advice that they've given to me that I've asked for.
Are these colleagues from a specific place or organization?
I'm all over, but I studied at Lore Temple, so many of my connections come through there.
There are many other bakers of magic.
Do you want to use this to do baking? Is that what you... I could probably do that. In fact, I think there's a dial right here. And he leans over and, like, he fiddles with this dial that's got all kinds of different, like, tasks written on it. And he's, like, flips it to one that says baking. Ah, yes, that should do it.
Have you heard of pigs in a blanket? Because I could totally eat right now.
Where I come from, we call them muskrats in a yurt. But yes, same idea.
Why would you eat blankets or yurts?
It's another one of them metaphors.
What does it take to run this machine? Like, what's its fuel source?
The fuel sources mainly comes from the caster themselves. They power the machine. It does require some attenuation with crystals. It requires, occasionally, depending for prolonged tasks, it may require a separate power source in the form of an arcane core, which could be found somewhere in, like, the capital of Ebenharth or something like that.
How long have you been working on this?
This is my life's work, right here. This is everything that I've worked towards since I have been an artificer.
And how far do we have to take this thing?
Well, it's not necessarily how far, it's how you're going to get it there.
How big is it?
So you're looking at this thing, and it's probably as big as, like, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, to use, real-life terms. As you can see, it's the size of a small horse.
Can we not simply place it in a wagon?
The wagon is covered, and you're sure you can... My concern is that when you go to move it, that it's not getting it there, or rather, it is getting it there. That's the problem. The roads are probably fine, and your route isn't that long, but I don't know how much anybody else knows, and I don't want people stealing this. I have one thing that can aid. The device puts out a very strong signal into the arcane flux, and I can help dampen that signal, especially since you four are going to be working around this so closely. I have a potion I can spray upon you to help dampen those waves, and hopefully anyone who's watching will be confused or thrown off the scent, as it were. They'll lose the trail. And he pulls out a couple little canisters of, like, this glowing white, like, liquid, and he attaches it to a little device that looks like it can be used, like, as a spray nozzle.
Why apply this to us when it is the machine that creates this signal?
Well, as I've already stated, the machine uses the people and the things around it to power itself. And so with you working so closely with it, and specifically with you touching it at times, I'm afraid that you might amplify the signal prematurely.
So this will help dampen the signal, but is there any way you could maybe amplify the signal on something else? Maybe like a fake signal we could use?
I suppose it's possible. You're talking create a distraction?
Yeah, a diversion, a decoy, or something like that.
I will have to look into that. Give me a few hours, and I think I can look into that. I feel this is safe. This room is safe right now. I've coated everything with this dampening material here, so I think that it's safe in this room for now. I'll go look into this diversion. I may have to construct a new device, but I think that could be done.
Yeah, it might help throw some people off the scent of the real one, is all I'm saying.
There's another man wearing red robes who pokes his head into the room and motions, and the man says, I'll get on that. Do you have any more questions for me? I need to get going. I'll be back in a little bit, but I'll leave you to your devices for now. Do you have any other questions for me?
Did you actually say where we're taking it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. So he gives you a map that, and this is where having a cool map would have been really killer. But it's basically you're just going like about 12 blocks across town. There's like a series of storage like units and stuff. But he's given you a specific storage unit number, and then has given you some instructions on once you get there that it looks like it's maybe a storage unit that isn't listed on the regular map there at the location as a place to kind of hold it.
Hey, by the way, did you mention how heavy this thing is?
There's ways that you can make it lighter, and part of that is like I said, the machine is powered by you, so as long as you think positively about it, maybe that would help. I don't know. When I was constructing it, all the raw materials it weighed somewhere roughly about the weight of a small horse, really. So fairly heavy, but not undoable for at least the four of you. I mean, it looks like you could probably carry this whole thing yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, I think I can just take this down the street for you. I'll just be back in a couple hours, so...
Oh, okay, yes, but if you get attacked, you're going to drop it and you're going to break it, and that's exactly what I want to avoid.
No, I'm pretty sure I got this. I'm pretty well liked around town. I'll just be back in a couple hours. And then I just moved to pick it up.
A little help,
No,
maybe?
Trust me, I got it, guys. So I'll be back in a little bit. See you.
Oh,
Wait.
oh Lord, oh please, no.
Patty, let's wait on that. Let's find a safe way to transport that. Is that okay, Hattie?
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Forgot to mention, my guy's kind of an idiot. He's not really that smart.
But he's big, I'm gathering. What race is he?
He's a Goliath.
So you guys got a better plan to take it over there?
I have zero plan. Should we carry it? Should we get a horse-drawn carriage or some sort of hand cart?
We can dress it up like my cousin. I mean, everybody around town sees him drunk all the time, and I have to carry him home.
How would we dress him like your cousin?
I mean, he's a little bit bigger than this thing anyways, so we just kind of paint him like a little bit gray and add a little bit of hair. I mean, he has hair. I'm bald.
I don't know how much it's a box, right?
Yeah, it's like a big metal engine looking thing, like set on a wooden slab. And there is a wooden box that can go over the top of it.
Yeah, I don't think this box is going to look like your cousin very much. Patty Log. What do you guys think? How do you want to transport it?
I think we need some sort of secure wagon. Hopefully something maybe armored or some metal, maybe some horses to pull it through, but what kind of budget are we working with here?
He's given you guys 500 gold as like a prepayment with another promised 1,000 at the end of it all.
500 each or 1,000 each or total?
He's given you a 500 gold deposit with promise of 1,000 gold each at the end of the contract.
Okay, so we got 500 gold. We can think we could get is that enough to get a wagon and a horse or something? I don't even know.
I can go across the street. There's some merchants over there that like to come listen to me play the drums, and they'll probably just let me borrow it.
That'd be great. Do you want me to go with you, or you got it?
Do you play any instruments? I mean, I have my drums here, and pretty much once I get going, they start buying me drinks and kind of do whatever I want. I play, generally I just cover a bunch of Queen songs, sometimes Meatloaf, if I'm really feeling the deep ballads.
Well, I don't play any instruments, but I don't know. Go if you need me to.
Maybe Hitch, you can help negotiate instead of getting drinks, getting a wagon.
Yeah, man. So you sound like you might have some vocals too. You want to sing?
You would need those drinks first before that happens. What else do you think we'd need? Something to cover it, maybe just wood or some sort of tarp or.
Well, it has the box to go in on top of it, right? So we'd want probably a little more camouflage, so maybe like a cover or maybe some other goods to put on top of it to disguise it.
Well, they transport pigs, and typically they smell pretty bad, so their wagons already smelled pretty bad, so if we carried some of their pigs for them and then took them off, like, they might just let us take those, and then anybody that's coming by is not going to want to mess with them. I mean, they smell like crap.
I feel like this is fragile, so we don't want live animals jostling it about, right?
What worries me too is that arcane energy coming off it more than the scent.
Well, if those pigs started to fly, just imagine all the things that people would end up having to do. I mean, how often do you hear, I would only do that if pigs fly?
That would be a great distraction, that's for sure. A little diversion.
So I feel like we need something to cover it, and then we need to use that spray to cover that as well, so that kind of like dampens the signal it's giving off. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's a good start.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay, I feel like someone should stay and guard this, or maybe two people. Like, should we split up? Should we try and move it closer to the marketplace? How should we start arranging things?
He did say this room it's in is pretty secure. He warded all the corners and walls of it, so we could probably go together if we want.
So you're saying we should leave it and then all go across to the marketplace.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine by itself in here. He said he secured the walls.
Looks like a wagon only costs 35 gold.
All right. So is everyone in agreement that we can leave the magic machine here?
Wait, that thing's magic?
Yes. It helps with magic.
You go to the marketplace. What are you looking for exactly? Are you looking to rent a wagon? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, we're renting a wagon. Or wait, what was his name? Hattie Lug is going to play his drums to attract his Wagoneer friends. What do you guys want to do?
I think some other supplies to kind of hide it too was a good idea. So it's not just a magic box sitting on a wagon.
Right, I agree. And it'd be stuff that we would want to use that spray with as well.
Okay, well, you guys step into the marketplace. I'll just kind of, while you decide exactly what you want to do, you walk up, and as you're approaching, you can hear all of the different, like, shop barkers, talking, step right up. And then there's other people who's like, sugar dates and pistachios. And you see a street rat. No, so you walk in, and it's pretty chaotic. There's a lot going on here. Lots of people. It's very, very crowded. It's pretty easy to spot, like, the horse where you could rent a wagon. It's very easy to spot that. You also spot at least 2 general goods stores, as well as a couple, like, market kiosks where you could probably get different supplies if you needed something to camouflage it. And also there's a good open spot, where it looks like people, like street buskers and things, will go to set up to do things like play their lutes or harps or whatever. And it would be a perfect spot if you wanted Hadalog to go play your drums.
Hadalog, do you want to play some drums? There's a nice little spot over there. We can go get the wagon if you want.
I'm always down to play some sweet tunes. And I see my buddy Warren Buffet over there, so he probably will come over and hang out and listen for a little bit. We could probably get some stuff out of him.
Is that something I could reasonably assist with? I have a drum as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a performance check, and roll it with advantage if Arava is helping you. Okay, with the 15 performance check, you said you're going to try to lure out your buddy Warren Buffet and your cart people. You definitely, like, with a performance of 15, like, there's definitely some people who stop and listen to your drum thing. What kind of song are you playing?
That was his song.
Does the performance roll do anything? Like get us a sweet discount or something?
So let's see. What is Hitch doing right at this moment? Are you talking to at the goods store? Or are you over trying to barter for a wagon?
I think he's over by the wagon, ready to listen to some sweet drum music.
So you start playing your sweet beat. You call it, instead of the sticks, you call it the Acheron. You see that there's a guy approaching. It's not Warren Buffet. We'll say he is called Beth Jezos. Walks up. And he's like, hey, there's some sweet Acheron you're playing, man. That's my favorite group. You ever get to see them when they played up in the Cloud Dome? It was so sick.
Yeah, man, I'm surprised you got that. That's what I was trying to, bring within me when I was playing those sweet tunes, bro.
Yeah, cool. Hey, you're a friend of buffets, right? Yeah?
Yeah, we get some drinks every once in a while. Just try to hang out, get chill vibes.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, listen, you want to, I've got a free spot over at one of my 9 taverns that I own just in this city. Do you want to, come play at one of them tonight? Because, you would be awesome.
Yeah, man, that sounds totally chill. Let's do it.
Hey, Hattie, remember we got that thing we're doing first, remember?
That sounds cool. What's that all about?
Yeah, we just have deliver some food to my auntie. She's in her 90s and she needs some food, and she likes her pigs live, so we have to deliver some live pigs to her. Unfortunately, our wagon broke, so the sooner we get a wagon and get that stuff delivered, the sooner he could be back at your bar playing music for you and your folks. So we're just in a tight spot, so I just need someone to help us out. But
oh man, I'm really sorry to hear about your auntie. Is she on the elf side of you or the human side of you?
the human side.
Hey man, we don't see race around here, man. Come on.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. You got me there.
Wait, Beth, you don't happen to have any wagons we can borrow, do you?
Yeah, that's hang on, let me check. And he pulls out a little black stone that he's wearing around his neck, and he you see him turn something like a little dial on the back of it, and he starts talking into it. He's like, hey, anyone got a free wagon right now? And then you hear a little voice come back. It's kind of quiet, but like he's nodding like he can hear it pretty well. But you hear some voice that's like, yeah, the Ramazan Prime carts just came back in. The Ramazing Primo carts just came back in from their one-day deliveries, and yeah, we have a couple free carts. Do you need one? And he's like, yeah, man. This guy's got like a dog that needs to eat or something, and they like pigs. And there's a sick drummer, dude. You should have heard this drummer. He was so sick. I'm gonna bring him in. I'm gonna bring him in tonight to some, I don't know, a rich person's hotel that I would be able to make a joke about, but it's that one.
Rump Towers.
I'm gonna bring him into the number 1 tower, the winning tower. Except it's not a tower because it's
towers greater.
Yeah, I'm trying to book him for tonight since Grave Doll had to cancel on us. And the guy's like, oh man, that sucks. Hope we can get to hear that drummer. Yeah, man, you gotta just give me a cart and we'll get this taken care of. And then he looks back at you guys and he's like, yeah, so cool. I got a cart coming for you guys. We'll get your aunt, or your aunt. Yeah, your aunt. Sorry. Hey, oh, and he picks up the stone. Sorry, it's not a dog. It's a guy's aunt needs to see something. He comes back. He's like, yeah, right. Sorry, your aunt. We'll get her pig. And in fact, I might even have. And he gets on the stone again. He's like, hey, does anyone have any live pigs we can? And starts bartering with someone about getting a live pig. And basically, it sounds like now he's setting up a whole thing. And he's like, hey, man, we'll get your auntie and we'll just bring everybody to the tower. And that way we can watch a sweet performance.
Dude, that'd be awesome. You're the best.
Yeah.
I think we should leave your auntie at home. Isn't she kind of sick?
Yeah, well, we'll deliver the stuff to her and visit her, but yeah, we probably won't take her to the concert. The sweet drums that are coming up later, remember?
Yeah, we don't want her face to melt with how sick that drum solo was. Okay, yeah, so he's assuring you that he's got a cart on the way. It'll be here in just a few minutes.
Hey, thanks, man. I hope the rest of your day is cool beans. Hey, do you guys smell that? That totally smells like pigs in the blanket. I'll be right back.
Don't go too far.
Okay.
He goes too far.
Oh no. We gotta go get Hattie Log. Hattie Log, come back.
What?
Come back over here now that you have your pigs in a blanket.
Okay. Hey, Josh rolled perception, by the way.
Oh, that was just to see if I could smell that.
All right, what's next for you wackos?
Okay, so do you guys think we need more stuff to disguise what is in our wagon? I think so, because if it's just a pig, having something like over the container would be good so that we could spray it with the spray stuff.
Like a blanket to go with the pig?
Yeah, like a blanket, some tapestries.
So we'll hide it behind pigs and a blanket.
Exactly.
Perfect. So let's go over to the people who are selling blankets.
Yeah, there's a a kiosk right there, kind of very nearby. They're selling rugs and blankets and tapestries, flags, and things like that. We'll say there's a tiefling woman. They're behind the stall, and she looks at you as you walk up, and she cracks this really broad smile. She's actually got for a tiefling, she's got very blue skin. Not like blue as the sea, but definitely not like red like you're used to seeing many tieflings have. And she cracks a big smile at you. And she's like, "Hello, how can I help you with my blankets today?"
Hattie leans in. Hey, what's up? What's happening, babe?
No, I'm just selling blankets. Do you like blankets? I sell blankets and rugs. I sell many rugs.
We could lay down a couple of those rugs and throw a blanket over us.
No, that's okay. I don't need a picnic right now. I'm trying to work. Do you want to buy a blanket? This is really annoying. I'm going to change this character voice. I'm sorry.
I really like the Mrs. Doubtfire vibe you were going with.
So do you have some business? Do you need something from me? I make all these by hand.
Yeah, could we get a couple of blankets from you? Do you offer any wholesale deals or anything like that?
Of course. I sell all kinds of place blankets and rugs for the businesses that need non-static blankets for their work so they don't get electric shocks every time that they touch something metal.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I'm saying that as a personal grievance against Aramark, who got rid of our non-static rugs, and I get shocked every time I walk into our laboratory.
How much do your blankets cost?
Given that I don't really have I'm not really concerned about you guys spending money. You have enough money to get the blankets that you need. This is a one-shot after all. I'm not worried about you guys hoarding gold and then like saving up and destroying something later.
Yeah, we'll take some of those blankets.
Do you want anything special? I made all of them by hand. And she starts flipping through a bunch of different blankets to show you the different patterns on them. There's a lot of really like gorgeous ones. They look like some that look like fractals. There's some that look like lots of geometrical shapes. She's really good at those. So there's definitely there's one that absolutely looks like a D20.
We'll take that blanket, and we'll take any other blankets that are very vibrant.
Oh yeah, she's got a whole stack of like really colorful, bright oranges and yellows and reds and like these cyan colors and everything that catches the eye.
So much for being discreet.
I feel like a good distraction. Or do you guys want the more toned down ones? What do you think?
No. Get the bright ones. It's fine.
I mean, I may need some for my house later.
You could use them when we're done with this mission.
All right. Well, let us up with some blankets.
Yeah, she helps you get a whole bunch of blankets, and around this time is when Beth Jezos's cart rolls around, and he directs it over to you guys, and you guys get it all loaded up, and he's like, "Cool, so wait, yeah, cool. So where's like the pig, man? We gotta go get the pig."
I thought you were bringing the pig.
Yeah, no, totally. And he like opens a compartment. He's like, "There's a pig in there," and he's like, "Just kidding. I got a pig." And the whole dinner. It's all set up. It's ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you, Beth.
Hattie Log starts laughing and goes for a high five. Hey, thanks, bro. You know, you're like super helping us out with this. Really appreciate it. I'll make sure to really jam out tonight.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Where are we going next? And he jumps up on the wagon.
Well, we're totally going to go deliver this, and someone's got to cut him off because he's about to tell the whole thing that's happening.
Oh, we're just going to take this to his aunt. She's a little sick, or his aunt, sorry. She's a little sick, so we don't want to like bring too many people around. But thank you for all of your help, and we'll make sure to get your cart back here safely.
Plus, who's gonna set up for the concert tonight if you go with us?
Oh, I got lots of people to do that, man. And he he reaches into his pocket and he brings out an entire like giant key ring full of stones of far speech. And he's like, yeah, this is like direct lines to all my people, man. I can just call them whenever I need something.
So is it totally bad if we actually brought this guy with us?
I don't know.
That would be so awesome. Come on, let's just bring him with us. Hey, can't he just come with us? Like let's just bring him along. Like we can grab a few more brewskis and let's have some fun.
Let's make sure the whole crew is okay with it. Arava and Hitch, what do you guys think?
He will be a bird in the rain. I have no problems. It is metaphor.
Or what are you saying, Arava? Just say it outright.
He can come.
Hitch, what do you think?
Yeah, if everyone else is fine with it, so then let's do it.
All right, Beth, you're coming along, but we have something to tell you when we get to our first stop.
We have another package to deliver my aunt. We got to stop and get that first, is what she's trying to say.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Whatever you guys need. I'm just like so stoked. I'm just so stoked to have this drummer tonight, you know?
Hey, do you think you could get one of your guys to bring us some alcohol before we head out so we got enough drinks? Like, we got to get a good day buzz going on.
You said alcohol, and he was already pulling out his keychain of stones of far speech.
No, let's put those away for right now. We're gonna wait to party until later, Hattie Log.
I just pushed a button. I got this. It's a special fast button. I just push it. And someone brings me alcohol, and then there's like 3 Aarakocra swoop down from the sky, and they land and hand you all like this giant bag of bottles, like bottles of grain alcohol. Yeah, hey, to us. And Beth Jesus grabs one and he cracks it open and just takes a giant swig of it, and then passes it to Fiend.
I'm not going to drink that right now.
Oh, that's all right. I'll take this. And he finishes it off in like one gulp.
He just drinks the whole thing in one go.
Good job, Hattie Long. So we're gonna go pick up our other box real quick. Let's head across the street and let's not have someone who's drinking drive.
As Hattie Log was like picking up one of the other yokes next to the horse and was about to pull. Wait, I got this. Or should I wait and back?
Let's have you wait him back and make sure that nobody's following us.
And he puts the yoke back on the horse.
Yeah, you guys go back into the tavern. We'll say it's been about like 2 hours since you guys looked around the market and everything and watched Hadalog play. So you walk back and you walk into the room with the device. And it's still there. Nobody is in the room other than you guys who walk in, and you're in there kind of alone. And Beth Jesus walks in. He's like, "Whoa, sweet gear, man! What is that?"
It's just a shipment that his aunt wanted. Hitch's aunt really wants this device, so we're gonna take it to her.
I think it like helps her like breathe or something like that. I don't know. Some dude was in here talking about it before, but I totally can't remember what he was saying.
That's exactly what it is. They call it a ventilator. It's a hot commodity right now. We just gotta take it to my aunt. That's all. No big deal.
All right, so let's get the box. We'll cover it up, and then we will put it onto the cart. And then we'll cover it with blankets, spray it with this special spray of thingy, and then we'll be good to go.
Sounds good. You guys need a hand? I'm pretty good with boxes. I have a whole warehouse full of them. Anyway, you guys go to put on the box top on this device. And while you're doing that, your patron walks in through the bay doors. He just kind of cracks them open and slips in real quick. And he's like, "Good. I see that you have a card outside. That's good. That's good going. Do you have anything? I'm assuming you have a plan." And then he stops when he sees Beth Jesus, and he's like, "Oh my God, is that? Wait a minute, is that another
it's
person?"
Totally me, man. I thought you would have recognized me before. You know, I'm a pretty famous drummer around here. It's all right. I can give you an autograph. And normally, I make these autographs out to somebody. What's your name?
Well,
All right, I've been hesitant to tell you because I'm also pretty well known myself. My name's Yankin' Hank.
Yes.
All right, Jenks, Yankin, Hank.
Yeah, sounds right to me. He would never lie to us.
He's still looking between you guys and Beth Jezos, and you can tell that he's very concerned about the fact that there's this fifth person now here. And kind of while he's doing that, the door into the tavern cracks open again, and that other dude that you had seen before, he like motions, and Yank and Hank walks over to him, and they talk for a brief moment, and then he takes something from the man and comes back, and he's holding this small little device about the size of, like, what are those mass market paperback novellas, right? It's about that size.
This is our friend Beth, and he's helping us transport this. He's lending us his cart.
I see.
Yeah, we need to get the food processor to my buddy's aunt, so he's here to help us load it up.
Well, this is concerning for a few reasons. How you doing there, Beth? And Beth looks up and he's like, doing pretty good, man. Nice device you got here. Yeah. And then Yank and Hank kind of smile. He grimaces. He's like, yeah, listen, I don't know how you got in here, Beth.
He's my buddy.
Everybody roll insight for me, please. God! Oh my god, you guys!
Everything looks fine to me.
Arava, you notice that there's some real uncomfortable air between these two guys.
Is my stupid rubbing off on literally everybody in the group?
I think it
That
might
was
be.
the worst string of rolls I've ever seen. 2, 10, 6, 2, 4.
I certainly noticed, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, they're staring each other down for a little while. Oh yes, Beth is he's one of my top competitors. And Beth smiles. He's like, yeah, it was surprisingly easy to figure out how to get in here, man. Gotta step up that security, yo.
Well, this took a turn for the worse.
Hey, Beth, you got any more of those drinks?
So Arava's doing a stealth check.
If you could duck behind a box or table or around a corner or something.
Oh wow, Arava disappears. In fact, everyone except for Arava make perception checks for me.
I'm just gonna say that he fails his perception check regardless.
Oh my god. Good to get all these rolls out in this one shot, I guess.
So, can we say that Hattie Log perceives what he wants, and that's grabbing another beer out of the bag?
I mean, yeah, if you're committed to the character like that, then yeah, absolutely. Like, he doesn't notice. And neither do the other guys notice Arava ducking under. Where is he hiding exactly?
Well, I don't really know the layout of the room, but if there's any boxes or pillars or anything that would manage
At this
point
point, you could be
behind
standing on the middle,
the,
in the middle of the room on the box, and nobody would notice.
somewhere around behind where the guy who's not supposed to be here is standing. Let's say it's behind a crate or something.
Are you talking to Beth? Oh yeah, you did say Beth. Sorry, yeah. Well, I got people out, and he pulls a giant key ring of Stones of Far Speech out. He's like, I got people all over the place, and it was on my list of things I'd like to do. I never thought I'd actually be led into the room with them, but
Hey, is that candy? And I go to reach for the Stones of Far Speech.
So at the same time that you're going for the Stones of Far Speech, the door to the tavern bursts open, and the other man wearing the red robes actually glides into the room very quickly and casts a binding spell on Beth, who stunningly fails his save. So Beth gets bound by this other man who rolls in and ties him up and says, they both turn to you, both Yank and Hank and the other man. Okay, look, this was a pretty big breach of security already. I'm a little bit disappointed, but we're already packed up, and I don't have any other options at this point. I need you. Are you still willing to take this contract? We're going to let Beth go, I promise, but I can't let him know where it's going.
Hey man, we preach love, not hate around these parts.
We're fine with that, actually. We'll just, if we can, give Beth some sort of spell if one of you have arcane magics, if you can give him like some sort of mind erasing spell or something, then we can deliver him and have a concert with him later and leave him behind for now.
Oh, absolutely. That's kind of my specialty is memory charms to an extent, anyway. So that shouldn't be a problem. And my assistant Kitch here will help guard him while you are out.
And in our defense, we never really spelled out those security procedures, Maybe this is on you a little bit from the beginning there, Didn't give us a whole lot of, to go by, so little this is on you there.
He waves his hands kind of dismissively, and he's like, look, we'll get into specifics later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. If all this is held together, then I think we'll be fine.
All right. We won't have anybody else help us. We'll just load this up. Do you have more of that spray that we can take so that we can...
Oh, yes. In fact, before we even open these bay doors, I need you all to get sprayed down, please. And he hands each of you a little potion with the spray nozzle on.
Have these been checked if they have any like bad or ill effects?
I use these all the time. In fact, he takes a fifth one off the table and sprays it on himself. It's like if you need like proof that nothing's going to happen, here you go.
It has that Prop 64 warning on the back. Big
Oh my God, what's a rabbit doing?
Insight 5 times.
Is he looking at all the potions individually?
Yep. Except he doesn't really have anything to go on, so there's not really any way he'd be able to tell anything's wrong with him anyway.
Yeah. There's like a slight glow coming from the potions. Roll Arcana for me. Just roll 1. Yeah, there's definitely a type of protective spell. Like you can sense what school is that? Abjuration? There's like an abjuration spell definitely held within those potions.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what to make of that.
Is this that spell stabilizer? I've heard a lot about this.
I was thinking the same thing. Let's also get our blankets and spray those down as well.
So I'm just gonna grab Jeff here and load him in the back of the cart.
No. Yeah, Beth is going to stay with me.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I will deliver Beth to the Rump Tower soon after.
Is your friend Kitch coming with us?
No, Kitch is going to watch over Beth.
He sounds like a nice guy, that Kitch. My fingers are hovering over the spells I want to cast on him.
Have the blankets, we sprayed them down.
Yeah, you're able to spray pretty much everything that you bought down, including the machine even. To which, as you're like going for the inanimate objects, this is like when Yank and Hank is kind of like, well, you don't really need to. Oh, okay.
Any chance you're able to replicate the signal? Create a decoy?
Oh, yes, and he like looks back to the small device he was about to hand you guys before he saw Beth. He's like, that's what I came to tell you. It's this right here. This is actually I was able to whip something up. This will put out a false signal. And you can take it and you place it wherever you want, and it will put out a false signal. And I've actually, and he clicks a little button on it, and these little legs pop out of the bottom of it. He's like, and it will move too. It's quite clever. So it's always a moving target. Now there's a chance it may walk in tandem with the direction that you're going, but it is also set to go random directions. So hopefully it will change direction quickly and not follow you for too long. If that happens.
Would you say it's small enough to be fed to a pig without being destroyed?
I applaud your ingenuity.
I'll tie it to the pig's belly. One of the
I thought the
pigs.
pig was coming in the cart with us.
Was there just one pig? I thought there was a couple pigs. All right, here's what I'm thinking. We strap this thing to the pig. We send the pig in the opposite direction through the market and everything, and then we go to the path that we need. That way it doesn't randomly follow us. Plus, we'll grease up the pig with some grease, so it'll be really hard to catch if they do find it.
Release 3 pigs and label them 1, 2, and 4.
If anyone's tracking the magical signal, they'll definitely be led towards the pigs rather than us. There's got to be butter in this tavern or oil. Well, I just want to make sure this magical beacon doesn't end up following us. I want it to go the opposite direction. Maybe if we could catch a bird big enough to carry it, or, cat or something, that'd be fine too.
Wait, this thing's magic?
Okay, I'll go with your pig idea, unless Yank and Hank thinks that's a bad idea. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm a little disappointed you won't be using the cool robot legs I put on the device, but I admit a pig is probably more effective, because even if it gets caught, whoever catches it's going to take it in a direction probably not towards the storage area. Not really in a market area, not really where there's a slaughterhouse or anything, even any farms or housing there. It's very industrial and very developed, if you would call it that, commercial. These are all terms that don't exist in a fantasy world, but I'm using them anyway.
Is there a way, do you think, that we can put it on the pig so that it can't be taken off for a couple of hours? Like some sort of metal contraption or lock.
Do you mean to, spike it into the pig? Good God, lady.
No, I mean to, make it so they can't just untie a rope and remove the device.
Oh, I see. Well, do you have any magical spells?
I don't. Does anybody else?
I have this one magic trick my cousin taught me. Just let me grab my deck of cards real quick.
Does anybody else? We need a spell, not a trick.
Yeah, I don't have the bind object to pig spell. Sorry.
Arava, do you want to come out from behind that thing? Use a spell? Do you have any spells?
If you had any way to maybe talk to the pig, you tell it what you wanted.
I have rope.
Yeah, ever since that crazy night I had, animals seem to just understand me, so don't worry about that. But imagine just attaching it to it.
Maybe we can attach it and use some really cool knots or something.
In the worst case, it becomes separate from the pig and wanders on its own.
Okay, let me try to talk to this pig. Ugh, ever since that night, these weird things have been happening. Okay, listen here, you little cute little babe. You need to take this cool thing we're attaching to you. Don't let anybody take it off you, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're gonna play. No, we're gonna tie it to you. But if anyone tries to untie it, you bite them and you kick them and you scratch them. And we're gonna play a game of hide and seek. You go hide as far away that way, and I point the opposite direction that we have to go. And to make it even more fun, we're gonna put a little bit of this grease on you. And I grab the wheel of the cart and take some of the grease from the bearings there and kind of slide it all over him, so he's nice and greasy. And then send him on his way. Godspeed, little pig.
God, smell grease. Yeah, okay, I'll hide and seek. Woo! And he sprints away.
Well, now's our chance to go.
So we'll load this up onto the cart.
The whole time, Yank and Hank and Kitch were watching watching Hitch talk to this pig, and they're just standing there with the most dumbfounded looks on their faces. And then Kitch turns to Yank and Hank and he goes, "Druids," and walks out of the room.
So Beth Jezos is tied up and off to the side.
Yes.
I'm going to change into Beth Jezos and also take his clothes and give him other clothes discreetly.
You're gonna fuck with Hattie Log's mind for the rest of the match.
Have we known each other long enough that that's not weird?
No, this is definitely weird.
This is good. Yeah, Francesca, why don't you tell me, is this the first time you've ever done this in front of all these guys?
Yes. So I'm a changeling. It just happened at some point, and I used to not be. But I think this will be a good distraction for this mission. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys before, but this is happening now.
All right, so we got a fake
Wait.
Beth with us.
Jess right here, but Jess also standing over there?
So I'm Fiend, but you can call me Beth for now. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, you're Beth.
So let's go. I just realized how well I know these streets. So is there the best passage between 2 points for this trip we're about to take? I never thought my background would be so important. Yeah, who's going to drive this thing? I would, but I've, as I'm saying this, I grab one of the beers from the back and crack it open. I had a beer. I started drinking it.
I think it's down to Arava and I. Arava, do you want to drive?
I don't have handle animal or anything like that, but I will drive the car.
I want you to make a perception check, and I need one of you guys to roll a performance check of some kind.
What is
well,
with these shitty rolls?
What's your plan? Wow, what's your plan for? Well, that stopped my thought process dead.
We're not getting to wherever we're going.
No.
This is the game of shitty rolls.
You want to get your cart all the way across town to Hank's Yankin Storage Services. As you are pulling away, Yankin Hank leans out and kind of shouts after you, and he's like, remember the number 7?
Remember the number 7.
And specifically, your instructions for when you get to the storage area, you're looking for room number 64, and you are told to remove the throw rug from the center of the floor. Okay, so right, Arava rolled the number 5 perception.
Well, I rolled a number 1, but
You rolled a number 1 with a +4. What are you guys doing to keep this cart discreet? What are you doing? You have super bright rugs and blankets and tapestry like covering the box that you got in there. It's kind of a moving billboard, so you are attracting some stares. What are you guys trying to do to alleviate that?
Well, they're just draped over the box. Is it okay if I like sit on top of it? Is there room for that?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll do that. I feel like Hitch and Patty Log should be guarding it in a discreet way.
Yeah, hop on the back of the wagon. And I'm looking back at the market, and I'm thinking, man, I wish we had some sort of distraction to get people to stop looking at us. Something like a fire or something. And right as I think that, a fire erupts. The rugs that we were looking at previously all burst into flames. It's about 60 feet away from us.
Attacking small business owners.
I feel like Hattie Log would go running over there to help her put him out.
I distract them with another beer. Hey.
Oh, thanks, bro.
So we'll use that distraction to our advantage.
what distraction?
Then I think to myself, dang, this is weird. Why did that fire start?
It was always burning.
Yes. I love it.
There's this huge bonfire erupts from the rug stand, right? So I'm clear on that. All right, so a bunch of people go running into the market area. They're trying to stop the flames. It's definitely a huge panic scene. I want Rava to make another perception check for me as he's driving.
That's a bit better.
I think that Arava notices that there are a couple people on the rooftops they seem to be, well, right now they look like they're looking down at you, but it's also hard to tell if they're looking down at you, if they're looking down past you towards the fire.
Okay. I would like to ready an attack, specifically a 30-foot sunbolt for if one of them jumps down towards the wagon.
Can I make a perception check right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Never mind, I'm focusing on my beer.
He notices a new
my
new word on the beer bottle label that he hadn't seen before. Hadalog, actually, while you are studying your beer bottle, you take another swig and you notice that it tastes sour. Like, didn't taste like that a second ago, but it does now.
Ew, gross. Party foul, man. Why'd you give me this shitty beer for?
What's wrong with your beer, Hattie Log?
Tastes like shit. And I throw it off the side of the cart.
Hitch, does your beer smell weird as well?
Would that be an investigation check on what my beer is like?
Do you take another swig of it?
You
Yeah.
can smell it. Ah! No!
Y'all better get these rolls out before the next big game.
Yeah, mine seems fine. I don't know. Isn't this what it always tastes like?
Yeah, yours definitely tastes. There's a sour note to it that wasn't there before. I wasn't gonna make you roll for it, but it's funny that you did.
I was kind of hoping it'd be a low roll.
Wait, Hattie Log, don't drink anymore. Let's take a second here. Hand
Don't
your
drink
drink,
anymore?
Let me smell it. Yeah, stop drinking if it's not good. It might be bad
You're
for you.
literally gonna have to grab it out of his hand.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it out of his hand.
Roll sleight of hand and Hattie Log, if you're gonna try to hold on to it, roll a Dex saving throw.
Dang it! No!
Oh my god.
No!
Okay, Hattie Log not only holds on to the beer, but he actually like succeeds in putting a beer into your hand.
Okay, so I'm going to open it and I'm going to smell it.
Smells like beer.
No
S-
sourness.
an alcohol scent to it. Had you tried the beer before?
No.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it smells like beer, for sure.
Can I do any sort of check on it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you want to do? What are you looking for?
If it's been poisoned or if magic has been cast on it.
Okay, roll an invest. If you're looking for poison, roll investigation. I'm waiting for another like 3 or 6. Okay, yeah, you're looking at this bottle and you are beyond reasonably, you are very certain that it has not been tampered with. Even like before you opened it to crack the top, it has not been tampered with in any way.
Does that extend to their beers that are sour?
So yeah, well, we can go ahead and if you're like looking at these, then you're looking at the one that you have, and I'm kind of like imagining that, you know, she's crawling over to Hadalog and looking at his beer even as he's like swigging it, and then you running over to Hitch and looking at his. There's nothing that you can see that would be concerning to you to think that someone had messed with these.
So it's just the one that I threw off the side of the cart.
So if you cracked a new one and swigged it, you also notice that one tastes a little bit sour.
Ugh, gross.
Let me see that one, Hattie Log.
I hand her the beer.
You see beer.
Do you think something's wrong with these beers or something? Why do you keep taking them and looking at them?
Beth, why did you bring shitty beer?
Do you think maybe they're magical beers? As soon as...
I'm just realizing that this isn't Fiend that's crawling around looking at these beers. It's Beth Jezos like crawling around frantically looking at these beers.
Exactly.
As soon as I say to myself, do you think they're magical beers?
Just like spouts off a spell slot. Yeah, you cast detect magic, and like you get like this hugely overwhelming presence of this machine that's sitting in the middle of this cart. But as far as like the beers go, like they're totally non-magical.
Yeah, they seem fine to me. I think they just taste bad. I think it's just a bad beer. Maybe they need a better brewer.
You said that it was something coming off of the machine.
Well, he cast detect magic, right? Which is sort of like for everything within 30 feet of him. Specifically, he was looking at the beer, but like that machine is within 30 feet of him, and it is radiating some massive magic.
Beth, can you use your candy bars that you talked to get some new beer?
Hattie Log, I'm not actually Beth. I don't have those anymore.
What are you talking about?
I'm Fiend, the person you work with.
I can picture the blank stare.
Okay, I'm sorry, Hattie Log. I ate all the bars. Sorry, I can't talk to anybody else. I think that it's just a good idea not to drink this beer. Maybe like let's wait until after we drop off this device and get ready for your show tonight.
Probably a good idea. I want to play a good show.
You will. So no more beers from now. Okay?
Okay.
There's 4 people who approach the cart in a panic as you are like riding away from this bonfire that's happening in the marketplace, and they're like, help, anything that you can do. There's the whole rug stand is on fire, and looks like you guys just bought a lot of rugs from there. Like, can you do anything? Like, do you have water on here? You can help us put this fire out?
I'm sorry, we don't have any water. We just have blankets. We've got to deliver them to our friend's auntie.
Yeah, we ought to also have to take this soda machine with us too.
We got a lot to do. I have a company to run. We gotta go.
They're like reaching up into the cart to like grabbing at you guys, trying to figure out if you guys have anything. They're clearly in a panic.
I'll sign autographs later, guy. We'll be back.
Do we have like a ton of blankets on us where we could spare and still cover up the box?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then I hand him a blanket and say, "Here, go put this on the fire to try to put it out." And I motion to the driver to keep going.
Okay, so they grab some blankets from you guys and kind of brush up against you while they're doing it, and so grab a couple blankets, and then they like say thanks, a quick hurried thanks, and then run away, like grabbing other people off the street as they're running, like, help us put this fire out, and just going running.
So those blankets still have that liquid on there, right?
Yeah. If those were ones that you guys sprayed.
Is that liquid flammable?
I guess we'll find
I'm
out.
going to urge the horses forward
Drive
faster
faster.
before we find out.
Yeah, you urge the horses forward. You start to move at a faster clip. Arava, please make another perception check for me. It's hard to tell. You definitely know, like you've been keeping an eye on these figures on the rooftops. And it's a little hard to tell, but you're pretty sure that there are more of them and not on the same rooftop. It looks as though the people that you're keeping an eye on may or may not be signaling to people somewhere else on the same level as them.
As tempted as I am to ask if they have pendants with triangles and stuff, I'm not gonna. Just gonna go faster.
You guys continue on faster. There's a group of lawkeepers, lawmen, who come running by at this, like around the time that you guys start urging the carts faster, and one of them actually jumps up onto the cart, and he's like, "We need to commandeer this. We need this to get water, water to the bonfire."
Oh, this isn't a water wagon. You can't just put water in it; it'll fall out the bottom.
We've got tanks filled up and ready to go. We just need to get carts over there. We don't have as many as we thought we did, and the fire, I don't know what a fantasy version of department would be, but the fire group is out. They have deployed all of their carts, their water carts, and so we got to get tanks on this one. We're commandeering this.
Well, as you can see, it's being occupied. Maybe Beth has other wagons you can let them borrow. All the ones returning from the Ramazan ride thing.
Yeah, we have more carts just right around the corner. My people would love to help you guys out. Go ahead and just go around the corner.
You mean the corner that I just came around?
No, the other one, that way.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Beth Jezos.
Hey man, there's a Ramazan ride on every corner. They'll help you. Tell them Beth sent you.
Why does it feel like we're the only wagon in town?
Okay, Arava, you have an attack ready, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there are 3 people jumping off of the roof towards your cart around the same time that this lawkeeper is now lunging for the reins. Sunbolt.
Well, that's aimed at the closest person jumping off the roof.
Yeah, that's going to hit him, and go ahead and roll damage on that. What happens to this guy?
Basically, as he's jumping down, Arava just reaches up with his hand, and a beam of condensed light just goes straight through the guy's face, and he kind of like half backflips and lands on his head on the pavement.
The other 2 guys land on the cart, and the lawman now is trying to tackle Arava. Arava, please make a strength save. Excuse me, make a athletics check. So he lunges at you and grabs onto you, and then you pretty easily like shrug him off, which sends him also rolling into the back of the cart, where Beth and Hadalog and Hitch are all riding, as these other 2 guys come crashing down into the box that is covered with rugs. I guess just real quick, everyone just roll a d20 for me. I know, yeah, just go ahead and, I'm sorry, roll initiative for me. So we'll say, since Arava went, we'll go to Francesca next. So Fiend, what are you doing?
I'm going to my short sword.
Oh my god.
Oh,
How do you kill this
shit.
guy? How do you kill him?
I bust out my short sword and just go straight for his heart.
Alright, yeah, you well, go ahead and roll the damage on that just so we can see how. Okay, you skewer him through the heart, and his heart comes out whole on this tip of your sword as it passes through him. Hitch, what are you doing?
So there's a third guy coming off the roof. Is that right?
Yeah, he's on the cart at this point, but yeah.
Have my club there with me. I'll just point it at him and I'll say, "Freeze!" And frostbite is cast as I yell that. He needs to make a save. Is that right? Okay.
Highly doubt that an 8 saves.
I think 14 is what it needs.
You do 2 cold damage to him, which I will say doesn't kill him, but he does like go pretty rigid and falls over into the pile of blankets. Okay, so he's fallen prone. And now we go to Hadalog. What are you doing? The only person who hasn't done anything at this point is the lawman.
Okay, so he did or did not jump into the cart.
The lawman? He's in the back of the cart right now.
I'm gonna be like, bro, you made me swallow my gum. And then I'm gonna hit him over the head with my beer bottle.
Okay, just roll an attack with your strength modifier. No proficiency modifier. You manage to you clock him on the head, but it kind of just goes tink and bounces back off, and he just kind of rubs his head absentmindedly and then starts to get up, and he's going to try to grapple Arava again.
Wait, he just stood up?
He's jumping at you from a prone position.
I shouldn't standing or getting up from prone if I
Attack of
remember right.
opportunity?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
It'd be an attack of opportunity for both of us, right?
For everybody actually.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If everyone wants to just oh my gosh. Oh my. Arava, Hadalog, and Fiend, go ahead and roll damage. Wow.
Ouch.
Your cart briefly turns into the Tasmanian Devil Dust Cloud. Out of which the lawman is thrown violently from, spilling blood in great cascading arcs as he lands and crumples on the ground. And a group of other lawmen come out and grab him and drag him to safety, while a couple others start to then chase you on foot, but you are gaining distance on them.
I don't know if it matters after all of that, but that 5 bludgeoning would be non-lethal.
Yeah, unless everyone else did non-lethal. You all did enough damage to kill him. Yeah, he's a bloody pulp.
One more, or is that all of them down?
You have the mostly unconscious dude who jumped from the roof. He's frozen. So he's starting to, I guess it'll be his turn right now. He's going to try to get up and grab a blanket.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's getting up. But here's the fun part. You guys used your reaction already. Okay, yeah, he's going to stand up and he grabs the rugs that are covering the box. And then he's going to grab one and he's going to rip it off, and he's going to lose his footing and he's going to fall off of the cart. And he does not move after he falls down. And your cart speeds away. So you are now running at you're riding this cart at a full gallop, catching the attention of a lot of people. Who's sitting near the back of the cart?
Hitch and Hadalog.
Both of you guys make dexterity saving throws for me. Oh, and I'm sorry, real quick. Arava, you, with your 13 perception, you still see there are some figures that are still kind of skating along on the rooftops around you. But at this point, they don't look like they're ready to jump onto the cart. And, okay, so Hitch and Hadalog, H squared, if you will, you guys are able to catch a few rugs and tapestries as they go to fly off. There's one that makes it to the ground, and then you there's as you're going, you see a couple people kind of run out into the street and look at it and pick it up. And so you're slowly losing these tapestries. Granted, you were able to catch a bunch of them, but now the box is mostly uncovered.
I'm gonna put the ones that I did catch back on and try to secure them better.
Okay, you round the final corner in your long and arduous journey to Hanks Yankin Storage Services, and you can see the fence that, as you guys have been riding this cart, the houses in kind of social district of the city kind of has been slowly falling away into more now you're passing through brewery areas where people got big brewing tanks, and there's some lumber yards and very industrial kind of complexes. There's people who are forging mining equipment. This is definitely where work happens, right? And so you round this corner around a farrier, and then and you can see the fencing that denotes the storage area that you guys are all aware of that place. You've probably been there more than once. As you begin to ride towards it, Arava, make another perception check for me. You have lost track of these people running along the fence line. You're fairly certain that they've probably stopped following you.
Okay.
You're not seeing any signs of them around in this area, and part of that could be because there's not a lot of tall buildings at this point, and you've passed by some areas that had some very open spots, and so you probably lost them some time back. When you passed by a couple lumber yards, they had to go around the long way, and then you were able to kind of get around. So if they're following you, they may be here soon. But yeah, you definitely with that, you're able to deduce that that's probably what happened. So there's a crowd of people around the gate entrance to the storage area, and they all kind of crowd around, and there's a bunch of people who
oh wow, like wow, what beautiful tapestries you've got here. Wow, are you selling these? Is this what? Wow, do you have more of these in storage? And then there's one guy who's like, my grandma's got one of those. And there's some other people who are like, oh, are those people from the marketplace that sell those? Or do you work for them? And then there's one guy's like, so sad what's happened to their stand lately. And all of these people are kind of like grabbing at the rugs and looking at things and sort of tearing them slowly off of the box that you've got there.
News travels fast.
Well, I've seen the smoke in the distance, and that's definitely denotative of a fire, and rugs are very flammable, my friend.
That kind of smoke is only produced by a specific hollow-on silk.
We're using silk to make rugs now. Okay.
Only the finest silks from my pretty feet.
These rugs will be available on, Ramazan Rhyme later if you want to purchase them, and we'll deliver them to you same day. But for now, we gotta put them in our inventory. So pause off, man.
Everybody who's sitting on a rug or near a rug make a dexterity saving throw as a bunch of people try to like grab them and run. Dang, you guys, look at this! You're coming through.
Got all the bad ones out of the way.
You're able to stop these people from grabbing rugs and running. And you roll up to the gate. The crowd parts enough for you to get up to the gate. And Aravis, you're looking at just like a human dude at the gate, and he looks at you and he sees he's like, ugh, lizards. And he goes, oh, excuse me. Do you have the gate code? Do you have the gate code?
Oh wait, we weren't given a code. We're giving it a room number.
That's what I hear that a lot. You have a code?
Did Red Robes give us a code?
I didn't type it, but I did tell you something. I'm not gonna leave you guys. I will tell you if you can't figure it out on your own. I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
I remember you saying "remember set" and then it cut out.
Oh no!
Yeah, we made it.
Did it?
We made a joke about it.
And then you were like, I'll type it.
Go back and review the audio.
Oh, now I have a dumb.
The code
Roll the
is
tape back.
set.
Now I feel like a jerk. I guess I didn't pick that. Yeah, he basically leaned out the door and told you guys to remember the number 7. So if you just say,
did you just cut out again, or was that just me?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
You just did it like on purpose. I swear. It sounded exactly the same.
Said remember the number 7.
7. The gate code is 7. One single digit.
We tell him 7.
7. He goes, well, good job. And then he opens the gate and he's like, goddamn lizards. Don't get me started on Goliaths, man. I knew this one guy, Marcus Hemlock.
Yeah, you
He
don't
was
have to
a
start.
real piece
That's
of
all right.
work. Okay, yeah, you roll into the storage area with all the places. Where are you going?
Room 64.
You go to room 64.
Remove the rug in the center of the...
There's a dial underneath the rug. It looks like to a locker, right? And it's got the numbers 1 through 100.
If someone try 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, you twist the dial to 7 and it unlocks, and a little like staircase, not little, it's a pretty big staircase, opens up and it leads down into like a bigger storage area hidden underneath.
Hattylog, you think you could carry this box down okay?
Yeah, I can totally handle that, bro.
Alright, just be careful. We'll walk downstairs.
Will do.
I don't care what people say about you. You're alright. Let's go downstairs.
I totally feel like he needs to make a dexterity saving throw to see if he trips going down those stairs.
I want you to make a strength saving throw. Wait, how much can you carry?
I have powerful build, so I can carry twice my weight without encumbrance, which would be 640 pounds.
Good God. Beefy boy. All right. Yeah, you're able to carry that. I don't even think I'm going to make you roll that strength save.
I see you already did, but we won't count it. So go ahead and make a dex save as you walk down the stairs.
Oh, make me
Is
ruin
anyone
my good
assisting him?
Nah, I think he's got it.
roll. I like how nobody helps.
Yeah, you've got it, I'm sure.
You stumble a little bit, and the top of the box falls off and shatters into 52 different pieces. But you're able to keep holding the machine. There's a pedestal that looks like where this thing is supposed to be put.
Yeah, just set her down right there.
Yeah, you set it down, and then from up the stairs comes walking Yankin Hank and his buddy Kitch.
What's up, bro?
Money, please.
Hey guys, we've delivered your machine as requested. All safe and sound here.
So I think it's just a matter of payment, and then we'll be on our way. I'm sure you guys got busy things to do.
They're walking around the machine, looking at it and tightening it down and like strapping it to this pedestal, and they're not paying you guys like hardly any attention. With a 13 insight, you see, I mean, it's pretty clear that like they don't seem to think you are of consequence at all. They're really like not paying attention to you guys.
Are we all done here? Is there something else you need from us?
Yeah, they just continue walking around the pedestal, looking at the machine and like making it. They're taking out little instruments and like inserting it and cranking it down and flipping like little switches on it and pulling levers and like this thing is starting to expand a little bit. Like it's been pretty dense in there.
Hattie Lug, do you want to ask them why they're not paying us?
Hey, man, totally not cool. Are you gonna give us that money?
Finally, Yankin Hank like stands up and looks. He like faces you guys, and he's like, "Oh right, payment. Sorry, it's been a long day, as you can imagine, dealing with my mortal business enemy, as it were. Speaking of, nice Jezos you got going on there, Fiend. I'm very impressed."
Wait, what?
You know, is there something else? What are you guys working on now? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to make sure that the machine is in working order for tonight.
What's happening tonight?
I mean, isn't it obvious?
Yeah, they're coming to my concert.
Of course, yes, the concert, right. Should get you prepared for that.
Don't you want to test out this machine?
Oh, I'm testing it right now. In fact, I've been testing it since you took it away from here, from the tavern.
What's it doing?
So is this where my danger sense kicks in?
I think so. You guys are all getting I don't think I have to tell you that you're all getting an uneasy feeling. I also want you all to make Constitution saving throws for me. Catalog, Hitch, and Fiend. You guys suddenly feel a really horrible tingle in your throat, and you start coughing. Sorry. Okay, so you guys start coughing. Arava, you don't really feel any different. And Hitch and Hattalog specifically, you guys start noticing that there's a taste in your mouth that's very similar to what you were tasting when you were drinking that beer, but like it's sitting in your mouth now rather than only when you've got something going through it. Bad aftertaste.
Do I also have that taste, but I don't associate it to the beer?
You now have that taste, and you did not drink any beer.
So would I sense danger or not at this point?
It depends on what you want to define as danger. Like, you know that something's wrong with you now. Yankin Hank nods at Kitch, and he says, go and do your thing now, my master. And Kitch nods and runs out of the room, like sweeping his robe. And Yankin Hank looks at the rest of you, and not so fast, Arava. Don't go anywhere.
Wait, can I pull out my whip and see if I can grab his ankle and make him stop from leaving?
Are you absolutely sure you want to do that?
I guess not.
Do it. Do it.
No.
I just say do it, man. It's a one
I
shot.
just really want an Indiana Jones moment.
Go for it. No reason not to.
Yeah, there really is no reason not to.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I am sorry, but you crack the whip at him. He continues to run by, and as the whip snaps, he looks back at you, and he just goes and runs up the stairs and like just runs away.
Yeah, I would say that sound of that whip cracking would mean that probably initiative's going to need to be rolled here, because that would set Hattie log off.
Okay, well then in that case, all right.
Oh, that's bad.
It's definitely not good.
He's gonna run up there. And then he's going to pull a crossbow out from his cloak, and he's going to aim it at Chris Hattalog. He's going to aim at Hattalog. So he's going to do 10 damage to you, Hattalog. Yankin' Hank lowers the crossbow and he says, he's looking at you guys, and he's like, "You've done all the hard work for me. Thank you so much. This machine will be most effective." And we'll move to Arava's turn. All right, so Arava runs up to him and bites him. And your mouth goes around one of his arms, and your teeth close on something hard, but it's like too small. His arm is too small to be like clad in armor.
Okay, I'm going to use a key point to use Flurry of Blows to get 2 more unarmed strikes. And since piercing doesn't seem to be working as well, I will not make them bites. I will go with a punch and a tail slap. That's a natural 20.
Okay, so you do 6, hit him for 6 damage. And like you feel a solid like clunk as you're hitting him with your tail. All right, fake Beth Jezos.
Use my whip and go for his feet, try and knock him off his feet.
I'm sorry, you do not connect. Or maybe you connect, but your whip doesn't wrap properly, and so it comes back to you. Is that all you want to do? Or do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I want to know what he's doing. What is this machine doing?
Well, it's activating the phage, of course.
What's the fade?
He smiles at that and briefly brings out and flips a little tiny vial with some white liquid in it and like tosses it towards you.
Do I catch it?
Make a dex saving throw. Okay, yeah, you catch it. This is we're gonna move to the next turn because this is like definitely takes way longer than 6 seconds to do everything that just happened. But we will visit that in a moment. It is now Hadalog's turn.
Alright, so then I'll rage because he shot me in the shoulder.
We move to Hitch's turn.
Okay, so Hitch is looking at this scene that goes down, and he remembers those rugs from earlier and how they all went up in flames because they're all covered in that spray that we sprayed on everything, including the machine and including us. And he's gonna create another bonfire right on top of the machine, not on person.
Interesting. Yeah, the machine catches fire. I will say make a perception check as well with this. Okay, yeah. You light the bonfire and you see that Yankin' Hank, his eyes get a little bit wide as this kind of goes up in flames. And he looks between that and he looks over at you. Then we move back to Yankin' Hank. He's going to pull out his greatsword and he's going to attack Hadalog. Does a 17 hit?
Negatory.
How about an 18?
Negatory.
And how about a 24?
Yes, sir.
So he swipes 3 times at Hadalog. He misses the first time. The second time, I think it's cool if Hadalog actually like swats it away in his rage. And then the third time he connects and does 12 slashing damage. Although it's really still is kind of like a glancing blow, and it's only sort of skin. It's like you're not quite bleeding yet. I don't think. And he's not going to move, but he's going to look at Fiend as Jeff Bezos. Excuse me. Don't sue me, Jeff Bezos. And he's going to laugh and say, that potion. The protective potion? Yes, I bet you sensed the protective spell in there, don't you? That's to keep the phage inactive. Now, with this machine, after it's spread over everywhere, we will activate it. And we'll move to Arava's turn. So, I mean, you've had people jumping on your cart, and you've thrown people off of the cart, and everybody's touched you and grabbed the blankets that you sprayed it on and took them throughout the city.
You made my fans the spreaders of this shit?
And it's Arava's turn.
Okay, so that fire is only 5 foot, so I'm assuming it's on the back square of this thing?
Well, I was going to say it takes up the whole pedestal, but I think that's too big.
Is there a part of that object that's not on fire?
I don't know, Randy. Is it the whole thing engulfed, or is it like just at the top, or kind of like the horizontal surfaces or something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the flames of 5 foot cubes. I don't know. The object's a small horse. It probably fits within a 5 foot cube. So I'm thinking the whole object is just engulfed in flames. is what I'm thinking. But
I will step back to there. Use Sunbolt on the machine.
He is going to take an attack of opportunity.
Well, then yeah, I'll just stand there and Sunbolt it. Do I need an attack roll on a inanimate object?
So I think that you go to cast Sunbolt and like as a piece of flare, I guess like it comes out of your hands a little bit on the weaker side. Maybe you're shying back from the heat. Oh no, you're a lizard. You like heat. Yeah, I think like the beam is a little bit weaker than you would normally think, and it actually like gets lost in the light of the flame, and therefore
I'll burn a key point to make a second attack with it then.
I think that you feel the fire get a little bit hotter.
That's something. Okay. That's it.
I'm going to grapple him because my goal is to throw him in the fire.
So you're going to grapple him and try to throw him in the fire? Roll athletics? I think when you're raging, you make strength checks with advantage, right?
That's what I thought.
Wait, did we skipped
did we skip Francesca?
Beth Jezos?
Yeah. So he's still alive near the fire/machine. And I have this vial of the stuff that makes people sick.
Correct.
Can I throw it at him, or is that like my whole move?
You could make just roll with d20 with your dexterity modifier. All right, well that connects with him, so go ahead and roll a d6 for damage. You hit him with the little potion vial, and it splatters all over him, and he comes out of it. Where do you hit him, like on his body? Where do you hit him with it?
On his face, forehead.
Okay.
And as I throw it, I say, if this town is going under, so are you.
He like doubles over for a second when you hit him with this thing that splatters everywhere. And when he like straightens himself back up and he looks at you, he's got a hand up to his face and he wipes it away. He's got one eye, right? Like one human eye. And on his other eye is a very brightly green eye. It is just like piercingly bright.
Like he's always had that piercingly green eye?
No, like you've torn something off of his face and now there's something underneath where his eye used to be.
Like the Terminator is what I'm picturing.
Like exactly like the Terminator.
Would you say it's about the shade you would expect to see on a set of greaves?
That's a good question, and I would say that is very correct. Right after that is when Hadalog tries to wrestle him and nothing happens. They come to a stalemate, and now we go to Randy's turn. Why can I never remember your guy's name? It's Hitch. It's literally one letter away from being the same name as the other guy.
Bitch? Or, oh.
Hitch and Kitch, what a duo.
Hitch! It's me, Kitch, you son of a bitch.
Alright, well I'm gonna move just a step to the side and try to throw these flames that are burning at him, but cast Scorching Ray on him. Should I click on it 3 times? Because I'm sending all 3 at the same guy.
Yeah, so those last 2 definitely connect with him. He successfully set his robes on fire, and they sort of go up pretty quickly. I think Arava is probably loving all this heat going on in this room. And on that note, we go to his turn. He's going to look at Arava, and he's going to clap his hands together. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Also, Hadalog needs to make a Constitution. Wow!
That's my high stat.
5 damage? 5 thunder damage? As a loud thunderclap splits the room. It's very, very loud. And we'll move to Arava's turn.
I'm going to attempt to bite him. And then I will flurry and bite him 2 more times. But never mind at all.
Alright, we move to Fiend.
For 2-weapon fighting.
So you're going to roll the whip and the longsword.
Okay.
That whip definitely connects. The short sword, however, does not. Yeah, so we'll take that last one, and I'm going to say you do 14 damage to him because I'm just going to give you a straight double damage on that. He looks up at you as this fire like burns off all of his robes, and you guys are facing a very large Warforged man. Go back to Kitch's turn. Excuse me. The Warforged man. Yank and Hank. He's going to look at Arava.
Well, that one definitely hits.
So that's going to do, I guess, 19 slashing damage to you.
Where can I get a champion greatsword?
And then he's going to laugh maniacally. Oh, also, I want you all to make just real quick as like an off-turn thing. Everyone make perception checks. 3 crits in a row. Yeah, well, I will say that pretty much everybody, except for fake Beth Jezos, you guys all see that there's a really big crack forming in the roof of this place, and has been forming ever since he clapped his hands together and caused that very loud noise.
Would bringing down the roof, Asa, destroy the machine?
What a great question, Francesca. I'm glad that you asked that question.
That doesn't mean he'll answer it, though.
There's only one way to find out.
We're going to move to, well, he's going to laugh and look at all of you guys as he's just taking a big swipe at Arava, and he's like,
"The will of the Shrike is upon you."
And it's Arava's turn.
Goodbye. And yeah, that's it. I run away.
Howdy, dog. It's your turn.
I'm going to try to grapple this guy again and throw him in the fire.
Yeah, 12 still beats 11, so yeah, you're good. You win. You have grappled him.
I throw him in the fire.
So you do 7 damage to him as Hadalog picks him up. You just kind of go, yeah. And attack him with the sword. You hit him with the short sword. Hadalog throws him into the fire, and now I need everybody in this room to make a dexterity saving throw.
So danger sense, do I get advantage on that?
Yes, you do.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Fuck everything. So did he take damage from the fire or no?
The room erupts in fire, and everyone is going to take 62 damage as the machine explodes. Hadalog, you pick up the big Warforged man and you throw him into the inferno on the pedestal. There's a loud clunking sound as the metal plates of the Warforged collide with the metal device inside of the flames. The whole room explodes violently, sending you all flying in different directions, and it brings the roof down, collapsing on top of you. Arava, you are thrown up the steps, where you roll to a stop just behind the bunched-up rug in the room above. Flames continue to crackle as the heavy sounds of shifting stone permeate the early evening air. The sounds of stone grinding on stone subtly turn into metal rasping over stone, then heavy footfalls alongside a soft hiss of robotic joints. You hear the voice of the Warforged, and he says,
I'm sorry, Master. The machine was destroyed. Did it work?
And then another voice speaks up, one you only vaguely recognize. It did its job. The phage is active, and soon we'll have the results we're looking for. You did really good work here, Grieve. This group here spread the phage so quickly. Was it your idea with the blankets? And as they continue to talk, their footsteps fade. And Arava, your eyes open. You spend a few futile moments attempting to dig your friends from the rubble. Hadalog stirs a bit as though, even while unconscious, his rage fuels him. Fiend has returned to her previous elven self, no longer resembling Beth Jezos. Hitch is almost entirely buried. Only one hand is reaching out of the rubble towards you. Arava, you sprint into town, searching for help, and you note a sour taste coming into your mouth as you run. And you find yourself thirsty. Your held breath becomes pained in your chest, and in the distance you can hear people coughing, retching, screaming. You round a corner to the markets, and you find hundreds of bodies littering the streets, covered in black and oozing boils. Scattered around them are the blankets that were either taken from or handed out from your cart. Finally, you find help in a noblewoman. She sees your panicked state, and not immediately seeing a sickness in you, she rallies nearby citizens to help you get your friends free of the rubble. In the coming weeks, you would become guests within her home, sheltered from the world outside and given privileged care only afforded to the nobility. When Ebenharth's soldiers finally arrived in the city, the four of you seemed to be past the worst of your sickness. It seemed like it would be just a standard guardsman contingent to help alleviate the sick population. There was a week of trying really hard to contain the sickness, and as more and more soldiers fell sick from the disease, the ports were completely shut down. Thankfully, no ships left dock with the sickness aboard. The whole city went into complete quarantine. But as leadership in Ebenharth would have it, this sickness was to be eradicated completely. Gauntlet, the Warforged Jarl of Ebenharth, orders the culling of the entire city of Master's Point. When your new noblewoman patron resisted the orders, you fought for her. Putting yourself into harm's way regardless of the paycheck was something you were not unfamiliar with. When her husband was killed, you wept with her. Her grief overwhelmed everyone. When she rallied her people and pushed out the occupation and began a revolution, you fought for her. She was not demanding, yet she commanded respect. You all said it to each other again and again. Trust your gut. Well, your gut told you to trust her, to fight for her, to march with her, stand with her, protect her. Raylene Kawahara, the Jarl of Master's Point.
Wow, this is timely. Were you waiting for this?
I've had this in my back pocket for a while, wanting to run the infection of Master's Point for a while, because that's been a big sticking point for that particular city. And I thought, you know what better time to do that than when we're all in quarantine for
That's rad,
disease.
dude.
Asa, I would like to point out that even though I've only taken part in two one-shots, I've now been responsible for the bad thing happening 3 times.
Well, I will give you that the second time at the very least wasn't entirely your fault. You wouldn't have known. Anyway, it's like midnight, y'all. So thank you for sticking with me. I'm sorry that combat ran so long. I hadn't really intended for that to go like that.
It's mostly the fault of our rolls, I think.